Hello everybody, this is Sonia. Now finally I got back on here. I'm sorry I've been away for so long. I don't like to say things too loud, but my arm has been so much better. I know that sounds silly, but I don't know what's happened with it. I had some sort of a torn thing in there. All my little things were swollen. Geez, I'm good at that, describing medical businesses. But anyway, so much better now for a few days. I'm really pleased. So I'm going to come back on here now and do more tutorials. Now, we were working on the little cupboard to put the doll shoes in, right? That was the last thing that I was doing. And then when I got this far, I realised, oops, I should have put in the shelves. Now, to start with, I'm going to go back and I'll find the link to this. That's straight. Yeah, I'll find the link to the part that I've done so far. I've used a piece of a box, but you can use whatever you wanted to do yours with. And that's what I'm going to do to make the shelf. Now I've done this is a base for it, so it will sit up nicely. I have been obsessing so much now over making a dollhouse because I really would like to redo one of those. Over the years I've done a couple for myself and some for the kids, but as it is now we don't have one in the place, so I'm looking at that and that's not really straight, is it? But then again there's pieces added to the end of this one. Alright, so we'll sort that out hopefully as I go along. Now to put the shelves inside, I need to work out like what size the shoes are that I want to put in there, and I don't want to have them too crowded. I don't know if I told you, if I did this in the last one I did because it was that long ago since I made it, I can't even remember now. So this one here, I might do it something different to it, you know, sometime. I've actually put nail polish on these ones to give them some little bit of a bling there, and this one has got stickles, some sort of glue, shiny glitter glue. That's what that is, not stickles at all. And of course I put some little things on them ones. So, but these are the highest ones that I'll be putting in there. Those will be those red ones. So I'm just going to put this in there just to see what shelving, you know, what we'll need. So I'm just going to put in 2 shelves, okay, there and there. All right, so we're going to work out that we need to have the first one into about here. And I should have did this before I put that paper in to cover it, but I'll do another lot of paper over top of what I'm going to do now, okay, I think. Now I've got myself into a bit of a state here and I'm trying to figure out what I'm actually going to be doing. I'll put the other shelf here, so that'll give you the bottom one, that one and that one there, and you can't see what I'm doing, but this is where they're going to go, okay. So I'll make sure when I measure across here, which I can come across on the line of the little squares, and put a mark where this one's going to be, and then come across here on this one. They're not exactly, you know, like, but that's like when I say the depth of the shelves are not exactly, but all the same. I have a ruler here, but that's not the right sort of thing. When I say that, it's got it's something to do with Armstrong scale, whatever that means. It's to do with, they are inches on that side, okay, so that's 1.5 inches, that shelf. This one here will be a bit over, and I think that one is a bit less, so I can put the higher ones down here anyway. Look, see, they'll fit in there. Don't put too many in because it'll be too crowded. Righto. So now we need to have a piece of card, and I'm actually going to use the box off my soap. Love this soap, it's absolutely beautiful. Buy this at Aldi's, and it's so nice because shea butter on it and it smells beautiful. Anyway, so I've actually cut this part here straight to start with, which is a good idea when you straighten it. And then I'm going to measure how wide the shelves have to be. Now Right. So what I'm going to do first, I think, okay, this is me working this out too as we go along, alright? So that's how we craft. As I say all the time, this is how I craft. I'm going to get a piece of this. That'll be cardboard, Sonia. Okay, before I get to my shelving, chipboard, whatever you want to use. Best, you know, it's good to have to use up anything like this, but because you've got to, you know, get rid of the things around the world. And my hair is hanging down over my glasses and tickling me on the nose. It's not that long, it's just not been brushed today. Oh, terrible. Well, it is long, but it's not, the front of it shouldn't be hanging down there. Didn't I actually, oh no, I didn't really do it. I did it first and I didn't want to line at all. Okay, so this here, that is probably close to, because you don't have to be, you know, this is probably close to the size of what the shelves were going to be. Look at that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut this off here. Nice and straight, I hope. Get a bit of a ruler here and see what happens. I've got the glue gun on. Must remember to turn that off before I go anywhere. Okay, now is that along here? I've been working on the room, been really good too. Actually, I haven't done all of it. My daughter and friend, they're doing it for me, and they've had to go away now for a week. So I'm a bit stressed because I'm waiting for it to get done. You know how you do that. Now I'm going to set that in there. See where I've got that? See where I've got this bit? I'm going to set that in there between those two shelves. Okay. I want it to be thicker than that. I do. So I'm going to actually glue two pieces together. Now I don't know if this is going to work, so we won't panic yet or whatever. Let's put some glue on there. Really get it together quick before it sets hard, because you don't want it to be lumpy. Right, so we got that. Oh, I've got to make some shelves for in here. I bought some of that cool foam board stuff. See, I went and, well, I fiddled around too long, and this is probably not straight now, which we need to straighten that up. Oh, it's all right. You know, things happen like this. I'm sure, well, maybe not to everybody, but to me they do. And what am I going to say? Well, I can't help that. I'm teaching myself as I go along everything that I do. Over the years, it's always how I've been learning things just as I go. I really want to make a dollhouse. I mean, I'm talking something really, you know, amazing. It would take me probably 20 years to put it together. The one I looked at kits on the internet, you know, that you get and you do build it yourself, and I think they were about $400 the one I wanted, so I think I might as well build it myself anyway from the beginning. I was talking to my brother, he does a lot of miniature things as well, and he said to me to do it out of paddle pop sticks. Well, I don't know. I went and I bought 1,000. That's not going to be enough, but I don't know if I'm going to do that yet. I've just bought the paddle pop sticks, all in the plan somewhere down the line. Now these have to be exactly the same. I've been talking to you and not telling you what I'm doing, but you can probably see, hopefully, that I've actually made, and if you've already got something that's thicker anyway in the first place, you don't have to glue two pieces together. I just wanted them to be like that because I'm going to stick them in the inside of here, because I'm going to use this to put my shelving on. Okay, so I'm going to make the shelves now. Probably never seen anything done like this before, and then again you may have done, so it doesn't really matter. This is what I want to do anyway. This wouldn't be in my dollhouse because it'd be way too big. This is probably something that people could make for your Barbie doll, the girls, for your daughters or whatever, for your Barbie doll house, for your own Barbie doll houses, or whatever you want to do. Now I have to make sure that this is right to the edge of my cupboard here, right? Now you can see the difference in the thickness there that's been covered with paper and that side that has not. I'm thinking about taking this off. I didn't really want to have to do that, but you know what, I might have to, because it's, yeah, we can just tear it off. There we go. because I didn't connect it to that piece on the inside, on the back of it, it won't take that off too, so that's a good thing. Okay. Sometimes taking things apart and refixing them is the best way to deal with it. I find that anyway. I'd rather have it done properly than a bit of skew whiff. And that made a big difference to the size, just adding that paper. The thickness of the, and this part here as well, which I can cut off a bit of it now if I feel like it's not the same length anymore, which I don't, you know. A little tiny bit out, I reckon. Now we need something to get that off there. Scissors. Bought myself a new set of scissors. Haven't used them yet. I'm waiting till I clear out my room. I've already got rid of a lot of pairs. The reason I had so many pairs is because my mother left me a lot of stuff, and she had a heap and I had a heap, and over the time I've bought more, and you know, I just never throw away the ones that don't work. I don't know why, but we're doing that now. We're getting a good clean out, things that I don't use anymore, and somebody else can use them and make use of them, and that's a good thing. So that's doing a really good job, but it's also going to start cutting into me out the back part of it if I'm not careful. So I'm just going to have to deal with taking it out as best I can now. Oh, I can't see anything. Where's one of those, I just got too much stuff sitting in front of me here. When I get my new things built I'm doing, I'll be really pleased about it, that I'll be able to see what I've got. I've got one of those knives my husband doesn't like me to have. Probably got my head in this camera shot now. That won't be nice. Got my hair done and everything. Look, Sam, not allowed to have one of those. Okay, somebody else sent me. because I'm not dangerous. He just worries that I'll cut myself. But I have done. Actually, it's the Stanley knife things that I was barred from years ago. I don't know. He just didn't like the way I was using it, I suppose. I've always cut towards myself instead of away from myself. And my son and my daughter are actually, my eldest daughter, are actually both left-handed. And when they do something, to watch them do something left-handed is so scary. You think they're going to cut themselves, don't they? Don't you? I never learnt to cut away from myself. I should have done. But anyway, you know, when you're using a knife, you know, people would understand that if they've seen anybody with that habit. But anyhow, it's something that I can't get out of, I guess. Now, we've done that. So we're going to make a shelf, right? So I measured that. So there's the lines for this one. We go in here, and we're going to cut. We're going to make across here. I get excited, you know, about things that I want to make, and I don't want to tell anybody, because then I feel like I'm committed to do it, and then I get, you know, sidetracked onto something else, which I do. I said to Elaine this morning, I said, I don't know what I'm going to do, and she said, finish that thing you're making. Oh, good idea, finish it, Sonia. That's right. People want to see what I'm doing. They want to see the little shelf made if they want to do it for their Barbie dolls. I was in Vinnie's yesterday. Vinnie's is our Salvation Army shop. No, it's not. It's a visitor ball. Oh my goodness me. Oh, my brain. I won't fit in there yet. Going to nip a bit more off. There was this lady there, and she was looking at the Barbie dolls, and she was lining them all up, wanting them to be nice and tidy. And she's seen a doll that was Ariel, you know, that little girl on the cartoons or whatever. Ariel, she's red-headed one. And she said, I'd buy that. She said, but it's got no clothes on. And I thought, well, that's really strange. You know, she could go home and make some clothes. So anyway, I picked up the doll. And I went to the baby section where the kids' baby things are, and I got a pair of stripy socks, little tiny stripy socks. And I went over to the counter and I said to the lady, I said, Rachel, you got any scissors? And she said, what for? And I said, I'm just going to fix this doll. And she said, oh, okay. So she passed me the scissors. I'm a regular there, you see, so she was sort of trusting me. She didn't think I was going to attack her with them anyway. I need to measure this now. That's not good with this ruler. Oh. Goodness gracious me, Sonia. I'll just measure it on the thing itself, I think. Put a little line here. I'll sit it down there and measure where the shelf will come to. And I just want to, when I rule this, I want to make sure I cut this side of the line, because I don't want it to stick out past the edge, you know. Making a pattern or drawing something, always you're supposed to have a really sharp pencil. No, I don't, because even that line will put you a lot out when you're doing something, you know. I'm going to make sure this is straight, because that line will take it out further. It depends whether I cut on the line or either side of the line. And then get this real straight. I don't think I have. A minute, we need to measure this all the way through here. To the 20 to 8 and a bit. That's not, you didn't do very good there, Sonia, I don't think. But anyway, let's cut it and see what happens. So if you go, I'm going to go at the inside the line, just a tiny bit, and we'll see what happens. But I'm going to pretty much cut along it. See how far it's going to stick out because of my bad measurements and my cutting. I've got a big shelf there that I don't need it that wide. I'll try going on the inside of this one, but I still think it's going to be too, when I say on the inside alongside the line, I still think it's going to be too wide. Okay. Yep, still got to cut more off. Okay, so I'm going to try and see if I can just eyeball this. So anyway, so I get the little shoe, the little socks, and just very carefully, I'm going to cut down there. And I probably should have got the, what's the name, but I think it's out in the lounge room. I was using it out there the other day. And cut down there. Right. And I got the scissors and I cut the heel. I actually cut the leg part of the sock off. Yeah, just not the foot bit but the leg. Slipped it over the Barbie doll, made a top bit. Well, not the Barbie doll, the Ariel doll. And did the same and made the bottom bit. And there I had the doll dressed. So I said to Rachel, I'll pay for the socks. Oh, she said, no, you won't. Because I said, I'm going to put it back when I dress it for you. And they said that was really cool that I did dress that doll. Mind you, the lady still didn't buy it, which I thought was not nice, but it didn't matter really. I didn't really worry too much about that. See, this is not straight. I haven't got that right along that drawn line, so therefore when I went to put it in there, it was sitting out this side a bit too far. Alright, now let's see if we can fix that. And this one, I'll just have to eyeball that, I guess, to see if I... So I can't give you measurements to this unless you want the whole thing, because it's just made out of a box. I think I did say it is 4.5 by 4.5. It's square, and I don't think I meant to do that, but anyway, I would have rather have it straight along, up. So now I've got these two bits and these bits. So I'm going to stick this onto here by putting a little tiny bit of glue across this. You reckon I should be doing it now or when I put it in the cupboard? What do you reckon? You should think I should have put it in the cupboard first? Don't know. Sure, we're going to find out. This one I fit in the cupboard because I took it over a tiny bit too far there. Should have put it in the cupboard first. Oh no, got it. It's all good. Now this one I'm going to put in the cupboard. I need to get it nice and straight. The thing is, I wanted to get the glue onto I need to get the glue onto this shelfy bit, you know, because if I don't, I'm not going to be very happy if it's waving around in the breeze. And using the hot glue gun, it'll stick it for me pretty much straight away. And do the same with the other end. And pray that it goes on, because I can't get anything off it now. I've done this. Okay, wait a minute, don't stick yet, don't stick. Hang on. Let's put it in here and see what happens. Does it fit? Righto, it does. And that bit come unstuck because I had to readjust that, so I'm going to have to put it back in there. Bit more glue on it again. Stick it back in there again, where I want it to be. And you know what, it'd be silly to put it in there, because how am I going to cover it while it's in there? I suppose I can do it, but I need to cut some off that bit too, so I'm going to take it back out again. And go along here, take that bit off. This is definitely one of those touch and go things, isn't it? Slap happy. Hope not. Hope it's not too slap happy. Now you can do lots of different ways you can put this in here. You know, there's lots of different ways you can do it. There was just, I thought this is cool, I'll have a go at that. And then I'm going to stick that on there. And I've got a shoe cupboard. Now I'm just going to check the time and see how much longer I've got to go on this, because I've been doing this for 22 minutes. So how about I just cover the thing and then I'll come back and show you a bit more, and put the rest of it together. How about that? I'm going to cover all this with paper, and this too, and then put it back in there. People might like to paint it, I suppose, but anyway, I better go because it'll turn itself off. So thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you later.